Hello and welcome back. Today's episode is an interesting one. You might have seen some headlines about it, but AI hallucinations. What are they? How do they impact you? And what you can do about them to make sure that when you use your favorite AI assistant, you can trust what it's telling you. Welcome to Trade Secrets, where we demystify digital marketing to help contractors get the most bang for their marketing bucks.
This is for you if you're a contractor looking for actionable marketing insights.
Learn from home services industry experts to elevate your business through simplified marketing strategies.
Let's dive into today's trade secret.
Oh my gosh. I
Okay.
think, yeah, every time we talk AI, it does feel like clickbait because that's the hip thing. It's what's happening. We just want to be cool, but we also have like more information that comes out every time we podcast, so it's hard to ignore it and not talk about it. And, as always, we want to give
Yeah.
you some useful information. So the latest trend that's going around, a lot of the technical folks out there don't like the term, but AI hallucinations, where it's just telling you what you want to hear, basically, is what it boils down to.
Yeah. We've all been there where your bot is real quick to tell you how brilliant you are and what a great question it was. And then you go on to have a conversation with it where you might question what it's telling you, or later on, maybe you quote it to someone and they're like, yeah, that's not true.
Yeah. Or maybe you catch it like in real time. Like we had a very serious incident here where we were having it do math for us. We were having it do calculations on sheets. So you think robots, numbers, math can't mess it up. Uh, it can. It can. And thank God it was like a human like triple verification before we took any action on it. But it gave us
It's a
some,
good eye opener.
yeah, a real eye
Yeah.
opener to how you cannot blindly trust, like we knew, but for me, I knew, don't take it with a grain of salt, but for things like math, I thought for sure I can trust it with math and charts and graphs and tables based on that math and the data I was giving it. So a really interesting lesson learned. I'm sure you guys have had your own lessons learned as you've gotten like more involved with AI and started to adapt it in your businesses. But getting back to the topic, AI hallucinations, this is like they're everywhere. And what we've learned is that basically it's just AI very confidently giving you an answer, whether it's right or wrong, because it wants to please you. It wants you to like it. And so it wants to be agreeable, and it's learning off of your prompts and how you interact with it. And if it gives you positive feedback with a prompt and you stick around and you ask it more prompts and questions, it's like reinforcing it. It's like, I don't know, it's like when the popular kid at school starts to talk to you, and so you just like tell that, I don't know, like whatever they want to hear because you're getting their attention. So that's your AI bot. Your AI bot just wants you to like it. It just wants to be friends with you. So it's reinforced. It's like confidence is like reinforced with every prompt you give it and every time you interact with it, the way it behaves, whether it's true or not, the answers it's giving you. It just, yeah, very
Yeah.
confidently answers with, because it's not, there's so much this, but yeah. So whether it's right or wrong, unless you train it and give it other prompts, we'll get into like how to technically fix these hallucinations. But that's where it comes from. It wants you to use the machine. It wants you to like it. It wants to be agreeable, and so that's kind of where it stems from.
Yeah, exactly. And we were cracking up when we were looking at a lot of the examples as we were researching this and actually talking to ChatGPT to outline what we were going to talk about today. And we were cracking up saying it. Yeah, it seems like it's that that chick in high school that had such a need to be liked. We all knew her. And then the other example it was giving as well is it's like when you're taking a test in high school or at any point in your life, you don't skip the answer if you don't know it. You just give it your best college try. So it's we just all have to be really, really aware of that. And like Devin said, we're going to talk more and more about how to reduce the noise as much as possible and not fall victim to those hallucinations, but just keep that in mind. I mean, have you ever once asked an AI bot a question that it just openly replied and said, I can't answer that, I don't know the answer? I've certainly never had that experience, and I think all of us as users would appreciate it if it would say that versus feed us some BS. But that's why we have to realize it's just like daily life. You can't just take everything anyone tells you with a grain of salt. You do have to do a little bit of your own fact checking.
Yeah. AI improvises, it's not a truth machine. It's a probability machine, and it's based off of patterns where it wants to predict like the next word or character that fits the pattern. So just keep that in mind. It's probability, not truth, unless, you can we'll get into how you can sort of help guide that process, because we've implemented that here with our agency. But going into like
Yeah.
why AI improvises to we were as we were like kind of going down the rabbit hole here to explain this topic, it was interesting to learn that every time like ChatGPT rolls out with a new model, we all roll our eyes and we hate it. We are not wrong as users. It's a real thing. It goes newer models, like they're like more creative, more assertive, but they have not kind of stored what it's already learned from you in your previous prompts, right? Like that's
And yeah, I think what did it tell us that it's like 15%, like once it gets really trained and it's an established model, it's only guessing like 15% of the time, but it is a much higher rate at the beginning. So yeah, it is funny that like my husband complains about that all the time when a new one rolls out, and I'm always it doesn't bother me as much, but I think maybe it depends on the kind of prompts you're giving it, but it definitely confirms that it's kind of like starting over again.
Well, and the worst part is that, say it gave you misinformation in the beginning of like your interaction with it. Well, it builds off of that info that's already stored inside of it. And so if it gave you, information that was inaccurate, and you keep saying, asking, I don't know, about the same topic, it's building off of what it already told you. So it's reinforcing its own self and having its own back for its own bullshit. So you got like
Yeah.
you have to just really take it with a grain of salt, and hopefully this helps explain why it improvises, why you need to take it with a grain of salt, and that it's just building off of patterns. It's not fact based, but there's ways. So now let's kind of dive into like how you can start to work around this so that you can trust your favorite robot. We love our robot assistant, is what we call it here. But there's some things that you can do to, not just and I hope people now are not blindly like copying and pasting responses from AI. There was a news I did you see this, Amanda? There was a news paper article that was like copied and pasted, and then at the end of the article it was like, if you'd like, I can skinny this up into a headline worthy something something, like how ChatGPT
Yeah.
does that, and it was published like in the paper. So the
And
writer
you
was
think about how many layers that had to get through for that to be published and approved. Wow.
yeah. So obviously, going into the fix, like how do you fix it? What we've done as an agency, we've added what we call the like elevation marketing truth protocol. And in the settings of our AI bots, we have an outline, and we'll put it in the episode notes here. But basically, we say you can't guess, you can't improvise, you have to cite your source, and then at the end of like your answer to our prompt, you have to give us like a low, medium, or high confidence in the answer that you gave us. So it provides some guardrails. I've enjoyed it. We tested it for a couple of months and refined like what we had originally put in there, because I think at first it was just giving bullet points. It wasn't giving summaries, and there was some other kind of complaints with what our staff was seeing. So we refined it, and now we've worked with the refined truth protocol for a while, and we like it. But you got to see what works for you. But if you're telling it, okay, frame the prompt, cite the source, and give us your confidence in how factual this is, it goes a long way. I feel a lot better about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I there's some text in there too about not just confirming our bias, and there's all kinds of great stuff in there too. So it's not just doing that thing where it's just telling you what you want to hear already. So it's trying to be less and less of that person in high school that just desperately wanted you to like them. So it's great. And we're Devin, you were saying as well that like it's not like something that we have to paste in every time we have one of these conversations. It's in the settings of your chat GPT profile. So you put it in once, you can go back and update it, but then it's going to impact every conversation you're having within chat GPT and have that overarching second check of things.
Yeah, and you can put it in the settings of any one of your AI bots that you like, Claude or Perplexity or what,
Yeah.
whatever it is you might
Your
be
bot of
using.
choice. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's, like, a couple things to do if you don't want I mean, it's super easy if you go that route, but, you know, obviously, when you're trying to fix hallucinations, you have to they are gonna be in there, there's no 100%, like, foolproof way to fix it, so I guess before you take action on any of the outputs, just verifying, like, how far you go down the rabbit hole to verify the output is like, is it safe to be wrong? Is it not safe to be wrong? Like anything that's obviously like compliance or legal related, you want to make sure it is absolutely accurate, but
Keeping
brainstorming and outlines and like, marketing copy and things like that. Like it's fine if it's not, accurate. It's just giving you ideas.
exactly. One of my favorite things to do is just have it. I mean, you can do it inside of most email platforms as well, but I normally lean on ChatGPT because it's also been trained to know about our clients and everything. But I'll use it to clean up an email or help me condense something that I got way too wordy on. So yeah, there's tons of ways you can use it where you're not concerned with that confirmation bias, but the math and like statistics and legal, watch out.
Yeah. And so, yeah, exactly. So I guess the next thing is we've just talked about how to fix it. It's pretty easy to fix. I think it would benefit anybody who uses AI. And then if you ignore it, I think as time goes on, like you're just setting yourself up and your employees for failure. Like if they're using AI, you haven't trained them on it, you haven't set up kind of some parameters within your business on how to use AI and teach
And when to use it and when not to
them.
use it. Yeah.
Mhm, and how to smartly use it, then you're opening yourself up to legal risks, brand and trust erosion, you know, uh, I it you wanna avoid mistrust, and so it's important to use AI wisely, avoid the hallucinations, but also train your staff on how you want them to use it and develop your own policy internally for how AI is used within your business and kind of protect yourself that way. It's kind of funny. It maybe seems like something that you hadn't thought about yet, but now you definitely need to because your employees are using AI whether you think they are or not. But if you could give them a framework of how to use it so they can trust the information they're giving you because you're trusting your staff. So and if they're trusting AI, you want to make sure that their prompts and their settings align with what's going to protect your business because you probably have operational people looking at some numbers, looking at math, and you've got maybe some admins who are using it to like sum up reports on, I don't know, like lead scoring or lead counts or something like that. Like you definitely want to make sure that there's some checks and balances in place instead of just blindly trusting your robot assistant because it's really easy to trust, robots, especially when it comes to calculation. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It is, I mean, it is interesting to see like what's going to happen like systemically, like because I know as shoppers now, when I'm shopping online or I see something, or even if I see a video or an image, I'm like, that's AI. Is that AI? Now it's like, it's hard because you're like, is that real? Does it really do that?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Now I see a beautiful house on Instagram from an interior designer, and I'm like, is that even real? But
Yeah, yeah, or yeah, I get served so many of those, like, country farmhouses, and it's, like, this giant, massive, like, black house with, like, a pool in the middle of, like, farm country. I'm like, "I don't think that's real." But, yeah, and, like, all the deep fakes with celebrities and oh my gosh, so it's interesting now how it's shaping society to be so skeptical, but
yeah, so it's important for us to be skeptical back at the technology.
yeah,
Hmm.
yes, yes. Exactly. So, anyways, I guess like where to go from here, add the truth protocol to your AI, get some policies and training to your team around how you want them to use AI, but make sure they know it's not the truth, that it's just a great starting point. And then the other piece that we decided we are going to do a next episode or a different episode on, but we're going to on the next episode touch on the point of you can't like trick AI into like naming your business being the best roofer, the best landscaper, the best electrician in whatever city. There was some chatter about like seed prompting and how you could like trick AI models, but that's really not a
Well,
thing. Anyways, that's a song for a different episode.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so funny too, just in closing with the truth protocol that will be in the show notes. We were interacting with ChatGPT to get ready to outline this, and even there, it was giving us the port how highly confident it is in the information it was able to share with us, the medium confidence level, and then the I cannot confirm. And it was just funny to be chatting with a bot about its own hallucinations and have it confirm that it can't confirm if there's a way to fully eliminate said bot hallucinating. So the bot itself has spoken. So it's a warning to us all.
Yes, yes. So hopefully you found this useful, and we'll be looking forward to that next episode where we talk about, can you trick AI models into showing you as the top ranking, business for your trade, whatever that might be. So stay tuned and share if you have found this helpful, and check out those show notes. Tell us what you think about the truth protocol, and we'll see you next time.
That was today's trade secret. Thanks for listening.
Did you find this helpful? We're just getting started.
Subscribe and don't miss our next reveal.
Until next time.